Hey everybody, the greatest goblin that ever lived is here for another comic book review for the week of the 18th of November 2015. I believe I got that week right. Got a stack here, and as soon as I get done reviewing these, while I upload this video, I'm going to go watch my bro shoot his mouth off about some comic books. Can't wait to see what he has to say about these books. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from DC, 2 IDWs, and the rest are all from Marvel. I'm going to go through DC, IDW, and then finish it off with Marvel. Alright, we'll put that down. I got the DC stack right here. We're going to start with Batman 66, number 29. Jeff Parker and Haspiel is on the artwork. I believe I just butchered that name, and I apologize to the artist. Catwoman to the rescue. This is the penultimate issue of the series, and this was alright. This is alright. Ma Parker is the main villain of the storyline. She springs Killer Croc and Solomon Grundy from jail. Yeah, from jail. Not Arkham Asylum, or the Arkham Institute as they refer to it in this series, but from just regular prison. And she's the ringleader in here. And it's like, I see Ma Parker doing some stuff in here that there's no way in hell she would be doing in the actual TV series. You know, but then again, this is a silly series. It was meant to be silly. It was purposely silly. It was never, ever meant to be taken seriously. But overall, this issue was pretty good. Catwoman comes in and actually helps Batman and Robin and Batgirl. Batgirl makes an appearance in here. But seeing Catwoman as a semi-hero in this issue, it was okay. They touched on Batman and Catwoman's actual relationship. You know, it's like, yeah, one's a hero, one's a criminal, but there's that special bond between the two of them, and it does show in here. And that was, to me, the best part of the book, was featuring that particular plot point. The rest of the stuff was just alright. Not bad, but it is what it is. I give it a 3. Set that down. Next up, you see this. Yeah. You're up, man. Hello, YouTube. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. You know who I am, you know why I'm here. So why don't we go ahead and get to it, shall we? Thank you. We're talking about Earth 2 Society, number 6. And in this issue, we're going to look at Johnny Sorrow, Our Man, and Anarchy. Evil is rising. Evil is taking over. And in here, we get the main focus on a dear old friend of mine in James Olsen, who wants to call himself Dr. Impossible. It's not the best moniker I've ever heard, but compared to what I've heard in my life, that's acceptable. Very nicely done. Yes. Our Man, not too much to him. He does have a very commanding presence with what little we see of him. And of course, Anarchy is shines pretty well in here too. I'm not feeling too much from Johnny Sorrow, to be perfectly honest. But the rest of the stuff just flows very well. Get to see just how much a certain character likes to hang on to the past. And we also get to see how certain characters just don't seem to get along all the time. But we get to see a true in-depth look at Mr. Olsen's powers. And he's already referring to himself as a god. Such a child. massive ego. When will they ever learn? However, this is, I think, a step in the right direction for this series. It's going up. And I like it to keep going up. It needs to reach that magic that Mr. Taylor had it at. Because once Tom Taylor left the book, let's be perfectly honest, this series has clearly lost some of its flow. And I would like to see a book about my world get some of that flow back. All in all, a decent issue. Very well written. The pacing was good. The time jumps were accurately done. It's not the best material in the world to represent my world. But to be fair, it was decent. I enjoyed it. I think you will too. I know what I'm talking about, folks. Thank you for watching. Farewell. That dude continues to get creepy by the day. But yeah, Earth 2 Society number 6. I noticed he didn't bother to give it a score, so I'll give it one. 3.5. Next up, Harley Quinn number 22. Love this Looney Tunes variant cover with Amanda Conner. This is good stuff. Wow. Really interesting in here. Harley does stuff her own way in here. We get to see the return of the gang, the Harley gang, the gang of Harleys or whatever she calls them, and there's a particularly funny moment in here. Is like one of the members of the gang shows up to a gang meeting topless. She's at this meeting topless, and Harley even calls her out on this. Says, "Why are your boobs out right now?" And she's like, "Well, one, look at them, and two, look at them." And she's like, "Good point." So she pulls off a shopping spree as Mrs. Floyd Lawton. There's a very disturbing yet very entertaining scene involving a Joker doll in here. All in all, really, really interesting issue. An old foe of Harley's returns in here, and that's all I'm going to say. This is actually... Normally I would throw minor spoilers out the ass in this without completely ruining the book, but I feel like I need to tone down on the minor spoilers for this particular issue because I thought this could really go somewhere. This was actually really good. Of course, the series overall is still a delight to read, but this particular one was actually pretty good, if I do say so myself. Some pretty good stuff. I give it a 3.5 as well. And if you hear any noises in the background, it's probably my damn dogs. Alright, Martian Manhunter number 6, The Truth comes out. Look, to anybody who really, really loves this series, I got nothing against you. I just don't feel it. I really just don't feel it. I mean, Rob Williams is a great writer. I've read some of his work before, but here... I mean, don't get me wrong, this issue wasn't horrible. It was actually not bad, but it has yet to hit me here, you know? And, yeah, pieces of John Jones are coming together. Mars is on the brink of a return, and I should be excited about this kind of storytelling. I should be thrilled. But here's the problem. I'm not. Not at all. It's not horribifuckus. It's, you know, borrowing a word from the AVGN there, but, or from the Nostalgia Critic, excuse me, horribifuckus. It's not horribifuckus, but I just wish that this series would grab me more, and I'm on the verge of dropping it. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to spoil the ending. You have been warned. At the end of the issue, Mars has supposedly returned and now Earth is dead. I would get so behind that if Earth was actually dead in other titles. Mars is back and Earth is supposedly dead. That would mean Gotham City's gone. Metropolis is gone. Star City is gone. Central City is gone. Atlantis is gone. Let's see. Every city that's protected by a hero is gone. You get where I'm going with this. If Earth was truly dead, then stuff that's going on in here would affect other DC titles, would affect other DC characters, other DC storylines going on. If you really want to sell this, if you really want to get us embracing this, you need to branch it out. Don't make it a one series exclusive storyline. Something this monumental needs to be happening in other titles, in other storylines. When it doesn't, it makes this monumental moment fall flat. I'm sorry, maybe I'm being too nitpicky, maybe I'm being too critical, but the fact of the matter is this issue was flat, didn't really go anywhere with me, I wasn't emotionally invested, and this may be the last time I review Martian Manhunter on my channel. You know, I just don't feel it, but I'll be fair and say it was an average read at best. I give it a 2.5. Alright, we're ending DC off with Secret 6, number 8. Gail Simone, Dale Eaglesham. Oh, man. To get that bad taste out of my mouth with Martian Manhunter, give me some Gail Simone goodness. That sounded wrong. A House Divided. This was just all over the place. And Gail, if you're watching, I love what you did with Black Alice. You took Black Alice and you sprinkled a little bit of kick your fucking ass all over her. And I really liked that. Yeah, Black Alice. Interesting. And my eyes widened when I saw what she did to Cheeto. Woo! Really? Okay. Interesting there. A deal is struck up with Scandal Savage, and for what, I'm not going to ruin that. But I'm really digging the character of Big Shot, you know, Ralph Dibny, Elongated Man. Really digging how Gail writes him, the artwork on him. When I first found out it was Ralph Dibny, I was like, whoa, that's a bit of a change. But I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Porcelain, the ability to change her gender, or his gender, or their gender. Yeah, this was a fantastic read. Really good. I gotta scratch my head, though, at one particular thing. What the hell happened with the storyline going on with the Riddler? I must have missed something here, because I don't know. It's like, put it down in the comments section below. Am I missing something? What exactly is going on there? Or what's going on with Scandal Savage and the Riddler? Did something happen in another book that I missed out on? I don't know. But bottom line is, it's a Gail Simone book. While this particular issue wasn't perfect, it was still really enjoyable. It was really fun. I really dug it. I was gripped into it. It's always good to see Scandal Savage again. I will always love that character. As long as Gail is writing her, I know I'll enjoy her, because Gail knows how to write characters like that. That's one of my favorite things about Gail, is that she's able to write characters. And when an issue is clustered with characters, she somehow finds a way to make each one of them identifiable, to make each one of them have a connectivity to the reader. There's always a way to develop characters as long as she's writing the story. You can have 20 characters in a book, and if she's writing it, and when she really puts her effort into it, you can give a damn about each and every one of them, even if for a moment. And I really dig that. That's one of my favorite things about Gail Simone, when she does really, really good writing. This is another good example of great writing by Gail Simone. A really solid issue. Really dug it. I give it a 4. Moving on to IDW, we're starting off with issue 9 of Jem the Holograms. Another fun, cutesy-wootsy issue. Not too much happens in this. The Misfits try to crash a party that the holograms are throwing. Jem is continuing to do a good job of hiding her dual identity as both Jerrica and Jem. The boyfriend with the purple hair, what's his name? Rio. Still don't give a damn about him. He looks like a gay Clark Kent. I'm sorry, but he does. A big moment involving Kimber and Stormer. No, I'm not going to ruin what that was, but okay. But this was feeling like another one of your standard cutesy wootsy fun issues of Jem, and then I got to the cliffhanger. Then I got to the end. Where in the blue fuck are you going with this? And I hope it's somewhere good, because wow, color me impressed. I like it. Let's see where it goes. Solid issue. I really dug it. Thought it was fun. Give it a 3.5. Maybe even a 4. Possibly. But at the very least a 3.5. On to the pick of the week. Issue 36 of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. This Siege of the Crystal Palace, the Crystal Kingdom, or I bet I just butchered the name of the story. But this story is just kicking so much ass. Sombra Rex is easily becoming one of my favorite villains of today in comic books. I mean, this guy is so wicked. He's got the other villains that he's recruited in this storyline actually doubting their loyalty to him. To the point where his scheme is actually freaking out another one of the longtime villains of My Little Pony in Queen Chrysalis. There's something he wants to do, and it involves him, and it involves Radiant Hope. I'm not going to ruin what it is, but what he wants to do has got Chrysalis actually worried, in a state of fear. It's like, if you do this, we all lose. You lose, I lose, they lose, everybody loses. It's one of those situations. But she also tells the other villains in there, I don't care what happens to you. I'm looking out for me. And that's good. Character development wise, she's a villain. She should care about nobody but herself. And the ponies in here shine very well. This was a solid read. This was awesome. Really good. However, what really intrigues me is how naive Radiant Hope is, and how long it's taking her to realize that Sombra's not the true friend that she wants him to be. And how heartbreaking it's going to be for this character when she fully realizes what a dick he is. This was really good. Very good. This easily gets a 4. Possibly a 4.5. I don't know if I can take it up that high, but at the very least, it gets 4 out of 5 stars. This was solid. On to the Marvel books. Extraordinary X-Men #2. Jeff Lemire, Humberto Ramos. I actually enjoyed Humberto Ramos' artwork in here. I really do. I'm not the biggest fan of his artwork, but for some reason I'm digging it in this X-Men title. Issue 1 I thought was a stellar start to the series, but in here we get to be reminded again just how bad mutants have it. And I believe my bro said in one of his videos, I think mutants now have it harder than they've ever had it before. It used to be, oh, there's a mutant, run away. Now, whenever humans see a mutant, they go, it's a mutant, kill it! It's no longer humans hating and fearing mutants and running away. Now it's humans hating and fearing mutants, and now shoot to kill. Kill them. Get them away. You know, it's like, ever since Cyclops did what he did in Uncanny 600, it's been that way. And something that's been referenced in here. Apparently, this does take place after Secret Wars. We know that. But they touched on the fact that Dick Summers, Cyclops, he's dead. So I guess that death spoilers if you haven't read Secret Wars, but Doctor Doom killed Cyclops while Cyclops was possessed by the Phoenix Force. He killed him, broke him. He's gone. Cyclops is dead. He's gone. And we also find out where Storm has moved the school. The X-Haven, the school for, X-Haven, I believe that's what she calls it. We learn in this issue where exactly it is, and I went, God damn, really? But what really sold this issue for me was Jean Grey. Jean goes through disappointment after disappointment. The stuff with Old Man Logan in here was actually really good, but that ending, holy Christ, that ending got me. It really did. The ending was so good. I cannot wait to read the next issue. You have no idea. Oh my God. This was really good. Solid read. Gets a 4. Have at thee, the Mighty Thor #1. I've been ready for this. For those of you who bought this issue, I'm not going to show it off here, but for those of you who got this issue, I'm pretty sure you know about the badass fold-around cover that this thing has. Oh shit, that cover is awesome. This needs to be a poster, Marvel. Get to work. Make it a poster. I want to put it on my wall somewhere, if I can find room for it. But so much stuff is happening in this issue. Now, Odin has made himself reclusive on Asgard. He's put a bounty on Jane Foster, on Thor, calling her the false Thor, captured, dead or alive. I mean, Odin has went full blown butthurt about Jane Foster possessing Mjolnir. And every time, and we learned that Jane has got cancer. She's dying. Cancer is killing her. She's going through chemotherapy. But we learn, or at least I learned in this issue that every time she picks up the hammer and goes on her duties as Thor, it negates all the chemotherapy she does, thus strengthening the cancer. So this right here is a perfect example of the old saying, being a hero comes with a price. This was really good. No appearance of Odin's son, Thor Odin's son. No appearance from him at all. But somebody shows up. Shit's gonna get real. And shit's gonna get real tricky too. I'm looking forward to where they're going with this. Solid read, really good. A solid beginning. I think this is definitely worth $5. It's a $4.99 book, so if you haven't picked it up yet, you have been warned. It's a bit pricey, but in all honesty, I think it's worth the $5. This was really good. Solid character development, good writing. Can't wait to see where they go from here. Just an all-around good book. Give it a 4. Alright. Star Wars, #12. Jason Aaron, Stuart Nyman. And first thing I gotta say is, that's an awesome cover. Sometimes simplicity is the way to go when it comes to covers, and this right here is a good example of that. Luke is swimming in a creek full of shit with stubby arms. How else can you put it? Fighting for his life, trying to preserve any last artifacts about the Jedi and all that shit. But we get to learn more about Han Solo's wife in here. We get to find out, minor spoiler, that the marriage it is indeed a sham. It is indeed a false marriage. It's fake. Never happened. It was done as part of a smuggling deal, and she's only coming after Han to get her cut of the profit or whatever. But for me, I had a nerdgasm in this book. I should rephrase that. I had a geek out moment reading this book. That's how I should say it. The other way just sounded gross. But trust me, I didn't do anything in this book. I just read it. That's all I did. I promise. I promise. But this book, I'm such a fucking dork. In this book, we get to see, spoiler, we get to see Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and Han Solo wielding some lightsabers. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. I shouldn't have to. But god damn it, it looked awesome. To see Leia swinging a lightsaber around. To see Chewie tearing shit up with 2 lightsabers. To see Han, you know, trying to save his own ass like the scoundrel he is with a lightsaber. That was fun. But then the book gets serious by the end and shit gets real. The Force is strong in this one. I highly recommend you pick this up. I highly recommend you stay on board if you already are on board. And if you haven't been buying the Star Wars book, I will find your lack of faith disturbing. This is some good stuff. Marvel is doing a great job with most of these Star Wars titles. I'm not getting all of them, but the ones I am getting, I'm really enjoying them. And this right here is really good stuff. This easily gets a 4. Now, we're ending this review with Vader Down, #1, Part 1 of 6. Jason Aaron and Mr. Diodato. Oh, my midichlorians are bubbling inside my blood. This was awesome. If My Little Pony didn't come out this particular week, this would have easily been pick of the week. Consider this my Marvel pick of the week, if you will. I know it's a cheat, but it's my show. I can do whatever the fuck I want. But Vader Down, #1. Where the fuck do I begin? You want to talk about writing a character who, even when he's got his back against the wall, even when the odds are overwhelmingly against him, even when he, for a split second, looks like the underdog, this motherfucker can still look like a badass. And man, does Jason Aaron do a good job writing Darth Vader. Darth Vader's on his way to Vergos Voss to look for Luke Skywalker, and what he goes into is a whole fleet of rebel fighters. And it's like he's outnumbered like 70-something to 1 or 50-something to 1. I don't know the actual number, but he is grossly outnumbered. But through his ways of the Force and all that other shit, he's like, I'm a Lord of the Sith. They should be scared of me. And he just blows right all through them until he runs into a certain someone, and his little attack is, how I say, diverted a little bit. But then we get to the ending of the issue. Vader is once again shown to be grossly outnumbered, but then he's got that saber out, and he's ready, and he's just like, all I see is a bunch of dead men, just bring it. He figuratively says something like that. But man, you want to talk about dedication to a character. You want to talk about great artwork that helps sell the writing. And speaking of writing, you want to talk about writing a character in a good way. In a good fucking way. This was fantastic. This was the easiest $5 I've spent this week. This was amazing. Really, really good shit. Solid 4. Solid 4. No questions about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Not a perfect 5, but an awesome, solid book. Well worth your time. Well worth reading. Well worth your money. If there was ever a jumping on point for Star Wars, I'd say do it now. Really good shit. This will surge through your midichlorians, and the Force will be strong with you. Awesome. Love it. Well, that's all for this book. Damn train. That's all for this review, I should say. I want to thank you all for watching again. Please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget Blugoblin X. I'm working on a couple of videos for that channel. Also a video for Arkham Asylum Studio. The links to those channels, as well as my bro, TheMtVernonKid, Deadpoolzilla, and Brandon Hex, they will, as always, are in the description below. Follow me on Twitter at Blugoblin01, or follow me on my Blugoblin Tumblr page. If you follow me on Twitter or Tumblr, you have a chance at, every once in a while, I post Marvel digital comics codes, and you have a chance to get a free Marvel book, if you're lucky. You can also find me on Pinterest or Facebook, or just stick with me here on YouTube. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I'll see y'all later.